Welcome to Daily Life Connection. Thank you for joining me again today as we continue to look at the story of Mephibosheth, 2 Samuel chapter 9. Today I want to look at verses 9 and 10, when David says to Mephibosheth, I want him to take all his meals with me. He will always eat at the king's table. Really simple little insight here today, but I think it's a powerful one. And it's this, that this is the heart of God for you and I. He delights in nourishing us, satisfying us, and giving us delight, to delight us. You know, when you got an invitation to the king's table, that was a big deal. To go to the king's table, for you or I, if we were invited to a banquet at Buckingham Palace, that would be one of the highlights of our life. And here is David saying to Mephibosheth, you're going to eat at the palace, you're going to eat at my table every day of your life. Every day of your life. I am going to make sure you have the finest and the best, that you are well nourished, and that you experience great delight in your life. Wow, isn't that God? He delights in delighting us. He treats us like favored children. He delights in giving us the very best. His word nourishes us. His presence delights us. The scripture says, in your presence there is fullness of joy, and at your right hand are pleasures forevermore. What a great description of Mephibosheth eating at the king's table. That there was a place of joy, a place of delights, a place of pleasure. Because not only did the king have the best food, served in the best plates, and at elegant settings, but he would have had entertainment. He would have had music during the meals or whatever sort of entertainment. It would just be an experience so far above the normal everyday life. I don't know what you may have had for breakfast today or going to have for breakfast today. It may be nice, or it may just be a piece of toast and a cup of coffee that you grab on your way out the door. But whatever it is certainly, I'm sure, not at the same level as a banquet at Buckingham Palace. You know, like I sometimes have seen pictures of the tables at these great state banquets or royal banquets, and you look at the silverware and the crystal and the way everything is laid out, and all of the utensils and the platters and the goblets and the pitchers and wow. That's what Mephibosheth got to experience every day at the king's table. Well, here's it is for you and I. Every day that we come into the presence of Jesus, every day that we intentionally respond to his invitation, because you see, this is good. David said, my declaration is this: Mephibosheth eats at my table always. Declaration of the king. You see, every day Mephibosheth didn't have to get up and wonder, well, I wonder if I'm invited today. It was a royal decree. I eat at the king's table anytime I want to show up there. That's what Jesus has done for you and I. He has made a royal decree. These people, this person, you, me, we are declared to have an official place at the king's table always. So when we come to him in meditation or prayer or reading the word or worship, we are ushered right into the king's table, a place of nourishment, a place of deep satisfaction, a place of wonderful joy. You know, when you have a really, really good meal, you just feel like, satisfied. And that's the way it is when we spend time in God's presence. We just feel like, oh man, that was good. That was good. Just to be in worship or reading the word or in prayer or whatever it may be. Why is it like that for you and I? Because the King has declared we have a seat at his table, and he has established that. You see, we come, oh, it's so good in Ephesians chapter 3, verse 12. It says that we can come with boldness to him because of Christ's faithfulness. That's a really good translation of that verse. Because of his faithfulness, Christ, because of David's faithfulness, Mephibosheth got to eat at the table. Because of Christ's faithfulness, you and I always, when we come to him, have an open invitation, an open place at the table. So, even if Mephibosheth didn't show up, his place was still there. His seat at the table was still there. That's the way it is for you and I. Open invitation, open declaration that you and I have a place at the King's table. And it is a place of satisfaction, a place of joy, a place of delight, a place of belonging. Oh, there's so much. Well, I can just encourage you to take some time today and think about this whole idea that Jesus has said, you'll eat all your meals at my table, and what that means to you. God bless. We'll talk again tomorrow.